What's your name?
My name is Whitney.
And what department do you leave at the River?
The Youth and Young Adult Ministries.
Okay. One question I have for you. What is one administrative or operational habit that has actually saved you time and energy?
I would have to say communication. Being clear on expectations, when are our next meetings. We have an amazing administrator, shout out to Devonna, that keeps us in line. And so being able to take notes on what took place at that meeting, being able to communicate that to the staff definitely keeps us on track and saves us a lot of time and energy.
Okay, that's good. Shout out to Devonna. So administrators are important
Absolutely.
for the leader.
Absolutely.
Can't really, the leader needs that help, is what you agree with. Okay. Now for this weekend, what is one burden or one thought that you packed in your suitcase when you traveled here that you wish to unpack by the time you leave?
One thought or burden that I wish to unpack, that I brought, that I wish to unpack by the time that I leave?
Right. Like, have you brought anything in your heart that you haven't really discussed out loud or anything of that sort that you hope get answered when you leave this weekend and you'll be able to go back to your team and implement that?
I would have to say, what kind of leader am I? I think for me it's easy to get and fall in line with a team and assimilate, but what kind of leader am I, and is my leadership being effective outside of what we're doing within the team? Like when we go back home to Charlotte, will I be able to take everything that I've learned working with the team and implement that in my own department?
Okay, I can't wait to see. All right, last question. We are in, of course, this is day 2.
Yes.
Tell us about what's going to happen today. What do you expect? You got a chance to review the agenda that Bishop and his executive team put out. What's your expectations today?
I think when you have a leader like Bishop, you have to expect everything. Even though we have an agenda, you still don't know what those words really mean. You have no idea. Bishop has a massive brain, extremely creative, and he always does things that challenges us. So I would definitely expect we're going to be challenged. But what that challenge is going to entail, we don't know.
My name is Giovanna Billings.
And which department do you lead at the River?
So right now I serve with the Assimilation Ministry, and in conjunction with the First Impressions Ministry, I will be leading Assimilation moving into next year.
Awesome, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so as a leader, right, obviously you're on this trip because you're part of some type of leadership group. So what is one administrative or operational habit that you have that has saved you a lot of time and energy?
An administrative habit or operational habit that has saved me time and energy. Definitely preparing ahead of time. I think for me, I'm used to and more natural in pulling things together at the last minute. And I think that's because I overanalyze the situation. Okay. But preparation, definitely looking at material beforehand and sitting with it, and even though this might not seem like a administrative habit, but praying over that information, asking God for direction and clarity, where do you want me to take this? Definitely seeing the importance of chewing on something and seeing what God reveals to you in that moment is definitely an administrative habit that I have been working on, that I have been leaning into. Yeah. It's not enough to have the personality. You need the preparation for substance.
Got it. Okay, I love that. When you said that chewing on something, it reminded me of what, I think it was Elder Ted, about ruminating on things, going back and really meditating on those things. Okay. My next question is, what is one question that you brought with you this weekend that you hope to get answered?
I think one question that I had and that I've been having is, how do I see the different ways in which God develops leaders? Really being observant that leadership for each person looks different. We all don't lead the same because we all don't have the same assignment. And if you miss the ways in which God is developing, sometimes God develops through the breaking. Not even sometimes, all the time, but the breaking looks different in every situation. Even in his word, we see that Elijah was broken in a different way than Moses, was broken in a different way than David. But just how being more observant and keen to see which ways does God develop leaders. Because you can be going through a process of developing in your character, but you don't even have the awareness of it because you're not even privy to this is the way God develops. This is the way God uses your situations, your circumstances, your trials in order to build your character so that you can step into leadership for yourself, but also that you can develop other people to be leaders. So just being more aware, God, in what ways do you develop leaders? And help me to become more aware of those ways this weekend.
That's a great question. All right. So this is day 2, obviously. Yesterday, last night was unpredictable.
Unreal. Completely unreal.
So it's about 7:30 the next day. I'm sure you had time to look over the agenda we got here, and I'm sure there was some changes to the agenda from what we had. What is your expectation for the day?
To have no expectation. The only expectation I have is that God is going to meet us exactly where we need to be today. I feel like when I walked in yesterday and we saw a revised agenda, initially I wanted to be like, no, they didn't do this again. But I definitely realized in the process that this is exactly what God needed and wanted us to do in this time. Sometimes the script is going to change. And oftentimes, if we read his word, we see the script did change. Even when we think about Samuel and David, Samuel was heartbroken when Saul was no longer king. And the script changed. What do we do when the script changes, right? So for me, I am expecting that the script is going to change, so I should say that.